Welcome to this special episode on Noble TV. Today we'll be looking at some major headline, review of major headline across the country. With me to do justice to this review is our special guest, Mr. Chidi Peter. Mr. Chidi, welcome.
Thank you very much, Mr. Noble.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you very much.
Like we said, we're looking at some major headlines. You just look at them and tell us what you think about them in the shortest possible time.
Sorry.
Okay, we're going to start with the CBN deadline extension. CBN just extended the Naira swap as the old new currency swap to it was only 31st, but we extended to the 10th of February. What's your take on that extension?
In Nigeria, we have had so many languages being used by bank experts. They used to talk about kind of to recall money back to the treasury, so that to bring down inflation. And now we have had the outright swap or change of currency or a correlation of our currency. All gears towards how to bring the economy, the inflation down. And of course, the CBN governor have come to tell us that it's also to help security agencies in terms of ransom collection and things like that. And also, those are promises that have stacked Nigerian money to the tune of 2.3 trillion and 1.7 trillion recovered, 900 billion still in the outside, to bring them back to the treasury so that one can begin to circulate back to people's hand. I think it's a kind of development. The station is excellent, though it's short, but it's excellent. My fear is that people now groom a lot, queuing in the ATM machine. Sometimes you find where you have gallery of say 12 ATM machines, only one they spend 20,000. So people suffer a lot to see whether they can get cash. And again, the average market woman have started rejecting the old money, also putting other people in jeopardy and in pain of sourcing for a new currency, which sometimes is hard to come by. And of course, funny enough, the ATM, the POS operators that are supposed to have access to this money don't have access to the money. You go to the bank to deposit your old money and come to POS, of course, you play the same old money. But we look forward to seeing more effective, more efficient, more working monetary or money swap within these 10 days.
It's okay. Thank you so much for your response. But I think from what the CBN governor said yesterday, the CBN and the banks are working together to ensure that this money gets to everybody. Like you said, through the POS, the ATM machines, they're going to ensure that all this works. But my question is this. Do you think it is a wise idea since, because of this extension, just like, say, 15 days to the election, do you think it will have any implication on the election or candidates using money to buy votes? Do you think it has any implication?
Buying or voting in Nigeria electoral law is a crime. So if any politician is talking about dissuading any person to vote for him by way of buying votes, is committing a crime. The average man in Nigeria, like statistics have shown, 99% of Nigeria don't even have 500,000 in their account. 99% don't have. Then the other 1% can be shared between the rich and the semi-rich. Then the 101%, as the case may be, are those who are holding Nigerians to ransom by way of stacking money in their custodies. So, as far as I'm concerned, the average Nigerian shouldn't be worried. The responsibility is to go there, vote wisely, and go back home. So, for those who are planning to use money to buy vote, I think 10 days is even a longer time. But because people are suffering to get this money, and because banks are somehow choked up in terms of trying to see how to attend the customers who are trying to deposit and also pay across the counter and through the PS machine, ATM machine, and so on and so forth. So banks are also choked up in their own aspect. So also have to recognize that. And of course, movement of money, for instance, now moving money from central bank to banks are not so what you can easily come by. Anything can happen on the road. So that means every strategy and measures have to put in place before they leave. So something I understand with the bank. At the same time, we should also understand with the Central Bank of Nigeria. At the same time, the politician who is planning to buy votes should also know that he wants to commit a crime, which Nigerians in 2023 are not ready to promise.
It's okay. Thank you so much. Still on that Naira swap at the extension, I believe you are aware that the House Committee on the new Naira redesign and Naira swap policy, led by Hassan Ado Doguwa, has rejected the extension. Rather, they are insisting that the CBN governor should visit the House to give reasons for the plan strategy they are working on rather than extending, that they don't want the extension, they want him to appear. Do you think the House has the power to arrest the CBN governor?
I think when you go through the section and add the establishments at the Central Bank of Nigeria, you find out that the Central Bank governor worked directly under the instruction of Mr. President. He's a financial arm of Mr. President. So if they invited the man, and the man tell his principal that they're asking me to come, and the principal says he should not go, has no right to go. So what the National Assembly will now write is to write to Mr. President to compel his subjects or his worker or his staff to appear, or Mr. President should communicate to the National Assembly in writing why such action. So going straight headlong against Emefiele, as far as I'm concerned, is completely uncalled for. He has the principal, and he can't just appear in the National Assembly without the approval of the principal. When you are looking for this extension, when you're looking to redesigning and recording of Nigerian money, as the case we quote unquote, he also have to approve Mr. President. Mr. President have to look at it critically with the stakeholders involved, with the ministers, if at all, and give approval. So it's left for him to execute the instruction of his principal. Now, being a central bank governor, they have gotten a feedback from the field that people are now scampering on how to get this money, which is not easy to come by. He went to Daura and met with the principal and told the principal they need to extend. And the principal said, go ahead and extend. And the principal gave an endorsement. So I think it's close to him. National Assembly should now write to Mr. President requesting to see his staff, or he, Mr. President, should communicate to the National Assembly, physically or in writing, why an action of impeachment should not be put on Mr. President for changing money without National Assembly's approval.
It's okay. Thank you so much. Like you used the word National Assembly comprises both the House of Rep and the Senate. But both of them are inviting the.
So they should now, if they write to Mr. President to come, they should start the impeachment process of breaching the law if you breach any law.
It's okay. We're going to move from the Naira swap now. We're going to go to the election tribunal judgment that sacks Governor Ademola after 62 days in office, bringing in Oyetola. What's your take on that tribunal judgment?
Well, we're in Nigeria, and of course, the learned judges, in their own wisdom, found the electoral process that brought in Adeleke as full of abnormalities. And of course, they presented it that these are the areas we have seen that are shortcoming of the standard of electoral process. Now, it left for Adeleke to challenge it in the appeal court. From the appeal court, it's our Supreme Court to go. So not until it passes through the process before we can categorically say that this is where we are. There are electoral process or judgment can also be referred to have favored Adeleke in terms of the overvoting, where a judge in one of the judgments said that the overvoting is not enough to overturn an election. We have had in this country. So I wouldn't know in their wisdom, in their discretion, from where they garner their judgment. But as the case may be, Adeleke still have appeal to go, and of course Supreme Court to go. So when we gather all these things, at least we can be able to say yes, that our constitution is being defined and our country is also being defined.
It's okay.
The electoral process is also being defined.
Thank you so much on that. We're still going to go back to the court. The court also sacked Chief Victor Obi as a Senate flag bearer of the Labour Party for Anambra Central Senatorial District. I don't know. I think they have their reason for sacking him. Do you have any comment on that?
I think that's an electoral law that brings in, before you now move from another party to another party, you must have lasted to contest. You must have lasted for a period of some months, or I think they say 18 months. Now, except the political party grant you what they call waiver, and you must have resigned as a party member of a political party.
Yes.
So I don't know how Victor made it his own, whether he resigned or did not resign, but they said he did not resign. Whether he was granted waiver by Labour Party or not, we don't know. But be it known that the political fight in Anambra State is always fight of the Titan. And of course, in Anambra Central, where you have the Victor Mays, where you have the Equity Face, where you have Yano Concourse, where you have the political bigwigs. So it's not a pushover. And these are people who have played their politics all their life, and they know the trenches. They know from where to where, to bus to where. So this is not the first time Equity is smarting Victor. So if it happens for the second time, then Victor may have nothing to lose more, other than to congratulate Equity for smarting him one more time.
It's okay. Thank you for that. We're going to leave the court now and go to these political campaigns. Governor Peter Obi convoy was attacked in Katsina. We have this rumor that it's politically motivated, that it's a plot by the opposition. What's your take on that attack?
Well, Peter Obi is not the only candidate who has been attacked. We have seen several attacks on Atiku Abubakar of the PDP. We have seen attack on Bola Ahmed Tinubu of the APC, and of course, we have seen attack on Peter Obi. We also seen attack, though this is not physical attack now, on Kwankwaso, where people are now seen burning his billboards and of course his cap and so on and so forth. So, but what it marvels me is, in all this attack, what we receive is just lip service, lip condemnation. There have not been backup action by Nigerian police to tell us that these people attacked these people and were able to arrest XYZ with this regard. Even it is only in Nigeria that people were able to murder a little girl for blasphemy. She was killed, and there were video cameras and evidences of the people that perpetrated the acts. Until now, the government have not come to tell us who have been arrested based on the video evidences, and who have been persecuted based on what we have on ground. Since we are able to tackle that from the ab initio, we have seen it now spilling over to our politicians who are now being attacked. In Lagos, a House of Representative member's house was burned to ashes just yesterday on Sunday, and no arrest has been made. Yet they never perpetrators. So not until our security agencies begin to act intelligently, begin to be efficient and effective in security and policing matter in this country, more attacks are bound. If not, you can see the killings, area of killings, killing of LP candidate in northern Nigeria, in Imo State, beheading of people and so on and so forth, who are political oppositions. They are going on in this country, and yet every day we only tell us that they consult the family, action will be taken, we are looking into it, we condemn the act. We should go beyond condemning the act into being proactive in arresting the situation even before it happens.
It's okay. Thank you so much. What you just shared with us, that is not peculiar to Peter Obi. Other candidates were also attacked. That you're calling on the security agency to do their work and ensure that these people perpetrators are brought to book. It's okay. We're going to leave that. Over the weekend, the Mayor Ta'ala gave a statement telling the Nigerian government, the Nigerian Air Force to be precise, that Fulani herders have equal rights. That's after 27 herders were bombed by the Nigerian Air Force with their cow. So they are saying they are being mapped out for destruction. What is your take on that?
I'm very disappointed with the governor of Nasarawa State to have even mentioned that it was a drone attack. That was his first comment. Drone from where? When have Nigeria gotten to that kind of sophistication to use a drone to launch an attack? If we have had such drone in Nigeria, banditry have been a gun issue. For a chief executive officer to make a press statement that the attack was carried out by an unknown drone that cannot be traced even at a recall, I'm very disappointed in that. And Nigerians are very disappointed in that. And such people are not worthy to appear before the media to address media on critical issues that have to do with the Nigerian security. Now, on the issue of the military, just 3 hours after I made his comments, the army came up and said that they did the bombing because they envisaged security breach. This is people who have gone to collect their cow from Benue State government. They paid penalty and they were going back and they were bombed. The military are yet to come out categorically clear and tell us at the time of engagement or bombardment, were they caught with arms? Were there signals? Because you don't just come out and open a fire on somebody who is not armed. So they should come and tell Nigeria how actually it happened. What the intelligence, with what ratio, what happened to clarify this issue. Otherwise, Nigerian government will face mutiny or genocide, as the case may be. So it's a serious matter. You don't just wake up because you have air bombardments and you waste 29 lives in this country called Nigeria, and you say they are Fulanis or they are Miyetti Allahs. They are human beings, born of a woman, and they have equal rights in Nigeria. Let me give you history and a story about those headers, those that take cow around. They are not the owners of this cow. The owners of this cow are the big guys in the city. All these big outside people own this cow. So what they do is they say, okay, you are going to serve me for a period of 2 years or 5 years. In this process, 1, 2, 3, male and female, whichever calf they give birth to belongs to you. Over the period you're going to serve me. Or you're going to serve me over a period of 10 years or 15 years, and I'll give you 5 cows. These are the 2 options. So now this person now takes this cow from one pastoral to the other. Then there are what we call the cattle wrestlers, who now come, kill them, collect their cow, and sell them in the bush. The real owners of the cow don't sell their cow in the bush. They don't. They don't. So some of these cows being exported out of this country or within the country are not bought from the cow market. They are bought from the bushes where the little man or the little boy who is trying to move this cow around is being killed. And of course, bandits are now using them as shield. Have you heard about where bandits come, where the Fulani herdsmen enter a village with their cow and kill people? We used to get reports that these killers come in their drove a motorcycle. And motorcycle is not hidden, it's not noiseless. So they are coming with motorcycle, they must have passed villages, they must have passed communities to pay the arts. And on the way back, they must pass through the same process. You can't just walk into Asaba, for instance now, and commit a crime. When you have, if you are taking northwards, you are passing through Iseloku. If you are taking southwest, you are passing through Ela. If you are taking the east, you are passing through Onitsha. If you are taking the south, you are passing through Ibuzo. You know, the cuts. So the military should come out and tell us, at what point did they discover that these people are armed? If they were armed and you bomb them, can we see the remnants of the carcasses, of the gun, of the bomb, whatever? Well, Nigeria, they also deserve to protect it. That's the truth about the matter. Okay, so my disappointment, categorically clear, goes to the governor of Nasarawa State to have come out in the first place without proper investigation to misinform Nigerians, to tell Nigeria that it's a non-drone. A non-drone from where?
It's okay. Thank you for that. I will take you to the statement by Tinubu in Abeokuta, where he said the Naira swap, the Naira design and swap is aimed at his candidacy, and also the fuel scarcity is aimed at his candidacy. Do you think this policy, the Naira swap, is aimed at any candidate? And also, do you think this fuel scarcity we are experiencing is man-made?
Let me go to the first scarcity. It's unfortunate that in Nigeria, Nigerian Ministry of Information don't inform Nigerians better. They take Nigerians to be sort of myopic. They be sort of village bridge. The issue of first scarcity is not peculiar to Nigeria alone. In Pakistan, we are seeing queue in Pakistan. In Rwanda, we are seeing. Even in Iran, we are seeing. The issue is the Western world are trying to phase out fuel. America have not imported fuel for their consumption since 2020. They are using their reserve to cushion the effect of COVID-19. Russia no longer export fuel because of what's going on in that country. Iran have sanctions because of recent killings uprising you have there, where a lot of people were killed, including a British Iranian was killed for being allegedly have an affiliation with the American government or whatever. So issue of fuel scarcity is not peculiar to Nigeria. The dollar have risen because America want to withdraw from Fuzel. That is why Biden said they are mounting 200 million charging points in the United States of America. It means by 2030, as a month, any food that uses fuel, any car that uses fuel will not cross America again. India said it's 2045. China says it's 2040. France says it's 2030. So this is part of what they say is the climate change. So Nigeria should begin to look a way forward, Africa in particular, see a way forward, because this issue of fuel hike and fuel scarcity of whatever, you see it in Africa the more. In Ghana, you see how fuel creep. In Kenya, you see that. So just like Nigeria are being misinformed. The cost of these shipments from where they are being refined to Africa is high. That is why the average man who is importing now, they say the brand, it's not that it's scarce, but the issue is high.
So you're saying it has nothing to do with any of the candidates?
It has nothing to do with the candidate. It's a misinformation, and the person who said it is also misinformed. Naira policy is a policy to see how the average man will go to the market and at least buy a bag of rice for 20,000 as against 45,000 has risen. To buy a packet of Maggi that used to sell for 300 before, now it's 1,500. A crate of egg that used to sell for 600 now, before now it is up to 2,000. This money has been stockpiled by the politician, except the person you mentioned is saying he has stockpiled money to use and buy votes. But if he is clean and plain, he has nothing to worry about. You should go about canvas and tell Nigerians what you want to do for Nigerians. And Nigeria, with their church mind, with their mosque mind, with their golden mind, will be able to elect him or vote him if they wish. But criticizing the government, which is part and parcel of its formation, cause for worries.
Well, it's okay. Thank you so much. I'll close with this. You're trying to tell us that the fuel scarcity is
global.
It's not.
No. It's a global issue.
It's not unique to Nigeria. What's the cost of fuel in your own area? I bought fuel for 450 naira. What was it?
Congratulations. We are buying somewhere, we have not mentioned name. Somewhere we are buying for 490, 450 respectively. But as a seasoned journalist, we have had where agencies set up by the federal government to see how they can regulate these people to sell at normal price, coming to officials and meeting money and collecting bribe. They collect bribe to the tune of 500,000, 200,000. This agency, you are seeing them. If they come, I'll call their name and I'll mention where they collected the money from. That's if you are somebody to the collected bribe from there. That's one at the express. After break, they collected bribe from there. A lot of people have been collecting bribe, so they are not doing their work. And they should not blame the marketers, because the cost of lifting this fuel from Lagos, 3,000 liters from Lagos to Asaba, for instance, now, is going to 2 million. And the person have to own the generator, put the same fuel, put the same gas to sell. He has to pay local government revenue, pay state revenue, pay federal revenue. From where? Won't you make profit? I'm telling you that profit of 3,000 liters of full laden truck, the profit is up to 100,000.
Well, thank you so much. We've listened to Mr. Chidi, who has talked to us on some of our trending news and headlines across the country. One final advice to viewers.
Well, it's a simple thing. This is Noble TV. Just like, comment, share, subscribe, even call and contribute.
Thank you so much. From us at Noble TV, my name is Nova Arisi. Thank you for joining us.